Hello YouTube. So in this video, I want to talk about some of the trading realities that I didn't see anywhere or I couldn't find it. And then I will talk about the things that I experiences and the things that I believe is helpful to my old trading journey. And hopefully if you are losing hope, if you are giving up, if you are hitting some kind of plateau and not really seeing where the trading things leading you to, then hopefully my personal sharing can kind of help you a little bit in terms of giving you a bit of clarity or at least how I handle my situation. And from there, hopefully we find a way to keep going, or at least we know where we are in this market. Before we continue, I just want to say that if you are new to this channel, um, the channel is just all about me and my journey. I don't sell anything. I don't have any service, and I'm just a guy that have been trading for almost 15 years. I I don't exactly have any title like millionaire or championship, whatever, but I have a certain personal experiences like hitting my first five fingers day, six finger day, and even seven finger month. And I also have the experiences of losing them all. Five fingers, yes, six finger, yes, and seven finger as well. So it sounds like I'm a gambler or some shit, but we all are at some point, and we realized that something wrong when and we knew that something had changed. So that's me, and my 15 years is kind of long, and I taste different kind of emotion. Even managing people's money, I taste that kind of experience too. It's not it's not so beautiful. I think trading your money is still the best in terms of freedom and psychology. And there's so much more experiences that yeah I've been through. So that's me. If you still want to listen to something personal, to then just stay and enjoy. So I actually writing a note. Like sometimes I want to speak something, or sometimes I feel like I have some topic that I want to speak up. I just write things down. This it's just so different in terms of typing and writing things down. It's just more, yeah. All right. So the first thing is what you're seeing on this screen is my personal IC market line account. It's not big. It's like just 2,000, and I have a multiple account, but in that account I'm just around break even. I'm going to show you the history. Like it's like here deposits like almost 5,000, but I just like I got really good run, but then I got some colossal losses here. You see, and I make some back. I lost even more, and I got a really good trade right here. And so far, it's just fluctuating around break even. You see right here. It's just kind of. So the thing is, if you noted in the online world, It's only about showing wins, and you don't see a lot of people talk about their losses. First of all, it's very hard to open yourself to the world, to say that you fuck things up, you make a mistake, you fail. It's hard to admit that to yourself, let alone saying it out loud to the world. And the most difficult thing is that when you have enough courage to actually say that out loud, you're gonna receive a lot of toxicity, negativity from the public, and it should make you feel less and less about yourself as a trader. And you will, at least for me, I I doubt myself more when I share things out, even with my family, even with the people around me. So it makes trading is kind of more and more lonely. And I don't know about you, but sharing trading with someone not trading, they will never understand you. Even the people in our family and people we love and people actually care about me or you, the only thing people understand is the result. Sometimes it's really difficult for us to just keep our head down and grinding and grinding in silence. I think that's the reason why it's quite helpful if you truly find a good mentor, truly find a good trading friends, or I actually kind of enjoy being alone and trading in my personal corner. Um, and what I wanted to say about this kind of reality, what I want to say is winning today, this week, or losing today or losing this week, it doesn't truly reflect the whole process. It doesn't reflect your your whole trading career. And sometimes we underestimate the step that we already went through. And I have been through the moment where I doubt myself and the moment where I feel like I am no one but just a gambler. And it feel uncomfortable. It feel like I'm going nowhere. It feel like not happy at all. But when I travel far enough and look back, I actually make some process at that time. And there are a lot of things that at this very moment, when you look into your trading result, it doesn't feel like you're doing anything good and you're not making any process. But over the longer time horizon, when you look back, you realize that you actually are making baby steps. Even these steps are losing trade. Even these steps sometimes are really setback. But these setbacks are actually setting up for a better future. They are not really setback. But at that moment, it feels like so. It feels like you are stepping backward. But have a patience, one day at a time, and things will kind of make sense at some point in the future, but not right now. And that is the first thing I want to talk about. I know if it feel like undes kind of hard to describe it to words, but it is what it is, and you are not really hitting plateau. You are just making process that not visible to the world. You're actually making process that only you can understand if you s- slow things down and look back, look within. Because it's not always reflecting in terms of P&L. Sometimes reflecting in terms of experiences. The first thing to eliminate losing trade is that you need to make the kind of losing trade so that you have a data set and you filter things out. You adding some condition to filter the losing trade out in the future. You will not have a similar losing trade license. But the very first thing you need to do is lose some trade. So that kind of losing, they look like setback, but they are not. It look like you're not moving, but you are actually moving. You just don't know it yet. So have a patience for the process. Have the patience for yourself. And this is why sharing with other people feel like counterintuitive because people will not understand and people will throw the thing that sometimes feel very hurtful. Sometimes it feel like yeah. So second thing I want to share is that during more than 14 years of looking at social media and I was overconfident myself time at time over time and over time. You need not really you need, but we need to understand that not every not everyone that making money right now is actually a winner. Time over time in this trading journey, you will see people pop up and feel very, very confident when they got a winning streak. And sometimes the winning streak can last very long. For me, the longest was 1 year. But it's kind of nothing because you can lose pretty quickly and you can lose a fortune if you don't have a way to control your loss or a proper way to approach risk management. In trading, things can change very fast. This millionaire not right here, the next day, maybe not so. Over the period of a really long time, I I didn't meet like a lot of genuine people in terms of mentors because like everyone else I started in 2008 2009 I couldn't even remember, but back then until now it's like now you have even more mentors, more mentorship, but back then not so much. The only thing we have back then is forex factories and just a few car seller. But the same thing until now is that it's just all about strategy and stuff. But the same pattern that I saw over and over again is that people got a really good track record for a few months, some a year, some even 5 years, but all of them disappear. And usually the after a really huge publication, I mean like showing up on the internet and keep talking about how good their strategy is, or taking more investment under their wing and really scale things big. I also saw multiple YouTuber really raise big money, and not only recently but many years ago the same patterns is always building an audience, building trust in and make people kind of have a faith in you and raise big amount of capital and blows them out in pretty much days or longest like week. That's all I mean. Things can change very, very, very fast. The people you admire that you admire so much, the next day they can be very, very different. And the biggest lesson I can tell you about this is that being humble and being grounded is something that it's not only today, but it's like something that we really need to implement it to our DNA. People usually call me humble, but I'm not humble like humble. I mean, it's not like I'm born humble, but market truly just slapped me to the face with multiple lessons, multiple losses, and at some point I know where and when I should just shut up and trade. So even the strongest, even the loudest person will eventually got what they deserve if they don't like stop it. And you can see how winning and money can actually make people some kind of different. And even I'm not losing money back to the market. I don't want to losing my characters. I don't want to losing the things that make me peaceful, my inner peace, and the things that make me who I am today. So yeah, even sometimes it make less money, but I'm fine with that. And over the time, people always tell me that I'm wasting my time and I'm going nowhere. But like I say at the first part of the video, only you, only us, knowing within that what kind of process, what kind of step that we actually taken, and what kind of improvement that we are actually making. It's very difficult to show it to the world and say that why are you not understanding me? Why are you saying this to me? Why you always say discourage and negativity to me? But everything has a reason, and people around us they have a reason to not really believing in us in this journey, especially when our P&L is shit. So back to the lesson right here is that always be humble. Things can change very, very fast. So yeah. So next things I want to talk about is changing strategy, hopping strategy. So usually I think the common theme and common advice you saw on the internet is that you shouldn't change or hop strategy. You should focus on one thing and master it. I kind of agree, but also disagree. Let me explain. Most people that tell you to not changing strategy and not hopping strategy from one to the next, they actually did it in the past, and then they learn some kind of lesson and some kind of painful experiences. So they told you to not to do it because it's not good. So if you just blindly follow the advice, the two things, good and bad. The good thing is you're not going to experience the painful lesson that your mentor, your friend, whoever tell you the advice. But the bad thing is, I mean, the bad things is that you sometimes the painful experiences is kind of needed to build your character. as a trader. Um, Not everyone needs to go through the kind of painful experiences, but in terms of psychology, when you don't know what you don't know, and when you don't have enough experiences, either painful or not, it should feel very different compared to the person that actually endues and going through that kind of experiences. I think unless we really have the good foundation, and good foundation here I mean a really good mentor, and for the best it usually uplife, and a good foundation here means that we approach trading in a very educational and very controlled manner, and not allowing ourselves to fucking up so hard that over the long time horizon, if we lost kind of a lot, it's really hard to come back to the break even. But eventually we will, but it just take a lot of time. That's the reason why people people always make fun of my more than 10 years, more than a 14-year journey. So that is what I mean by the good and the bad of changing and hopping strategy. But if you actually decided to stick with one thing, I'm going to say that when we stick with one thing, even so, we need to know how to actually channel and tracking the things that matter, the things that we can actually quantify in terms of data, something that we can use at a statistical edge. Because anything we use in trading, they are tool, they are perspective. But the thing is, it needs to be quantified in a way that can help you to make mm, objective, right? Objective. I mean, like a decision based on statistical edge, a decision based on data, a decision based on something that not too flexible. Because if there's so much of variation, so many variation of a certain thing, a certain variable in your edge, it's going to be very, very difficult to make it repeatable, repeatable or consistent. And the first things about consistency is that you need something a little bit mechanical. Even currently, I trade discretionary, but the process that I approach market every day is the same. So the process is the same, allowing me to extract the same kind of data. Like I'm trading gold right now, and when I focus only on gold, I'm going to focus on ATR of section. Let's say if you are only trading New York section, gold. So if you follow and journal the data, you will realize that most of the time in New York section, the moves is impulsive and very directional. So trading mean reversion in directional move is not going to work very well consistently. But if you are trading high risk reward and focus on maybe breakout, maybe retracement trade, New York is the way to go. But if you are trading high risk reward in London, in Asia, things gonna be very different. So checking the right thing, allowing me to make a database decision. And let me tell you something. Um, it's not about the fair value gap. It's not about the liquidity thing or whatever. It's more about what behind the thing. Let's say that let's say you trade fair value gap 100 times and another guy doing the same thing. If you actually journal things correctly after 100 trade, you're gonna see some kind of pattern. What kind of fair value gap? What time it formed? Or what kind of section or what kind of pair that give you a little bit more edge or a little bit better statistical advantage. So the next 100 trade, you're gonna trade a little bit different. But the most different here is that when you find some kind of statistical advantage in your edge, when you execute the trade, you will subconsciously eliminate the fear. Usually when we trade high risk reward, the biggest thing is that we usually have a very big sizing because we size based on our distance between the entry to the stop. But if we just go and trade the whatever the edge is, whatever the pattern, whatever the value gap, breakaway gap, breaker, whatever concept you're trading, even if it's just RSI, even if it's just Bollinger Band, when you trade that the first time, you're gonna feel like shit. You're gonna feel like, will it come back? Will it continue? It's going to my target. It is my stop loss. It always feel emotional because we don't know what is actually happening. But when we have some kind of statistical that we actually collected based on our very personal traits, then when we make decision, when we place the next trade, we have a something to back it up. And when you have a something on your own that back up the, the fair value gap, the pattern that you're trading, you don't feel the same. You feel confident. You feel like a trader who not only placing a trade, but who knowing what he is seeking, who knowing when to trade, when not to trade. Let's say after journaling, you see that you only perform best when the market already moved like 50% of the daily ATR. Then later on, you only wait until the daily ATR hitting like 50%, and then maybe you wait for a retracement, and then you enter some kind like that. So that's what I mean by not about the strategy. It's not about the fair value gap. It's not about the things that you are trying to use. Let's say I found a really good indicator. Let's say I found something that have a statistical edge. When I place a trade, I'm going to feel I'm going to feel a little bit like shit again. But after you place a trade 100 times with that indicator, I feel different because I journal that 100 trade and I know that what is the common between the losing trade, what is the common between the winning trade. So I apply some kind of filter allowing me to have a less losing trade and more winning trade. So the later execution gonna be way better. I hope that makes sense. And I think this is so important because we saw a strategy. Even we buy a car, we saw a strategy, we apply it, we're gonna feel the same emotion because we don't have anything to back it up. If I share with you how I trade, will you execute the same and in the way that flawlessly like I am, or like your mentor do, whatever? You will not. Because when we are trying to obtain something from other people or something that not originally from us, we need time to get used to it. It's like learning to try a new vehicle. And once we have enough repetition, once we pay attention to the things that matter, like the number, the data, the time, the pattern, the volatility of a section. And people usually told me that how do I journal and stuff. But it's not about how I journal. It's I never shared because it's more about how you do it. It's not me. And you should never download some kind of template. You need to create a template. You need to do it yourself so that once you feel like it's not good enough, you can improve it or recreate it. You can see I have like a ton. I have so many, and this is only one seed. I have like hundreds. So you can see that I brainstorm and doing a lot of stuff, and eventually they nothing wrong and they nothing right in trading. As long as you are making money and have a way to control your risk, you're right. And if we are losing money and we are losing our life and we are letting trading consume us in a way, or make or less the money, try try our behavior to be more greedy, some kind of being more kind of a dick, then then it's on us. Then nothing is spelled right or wrong. But more times than not, when we throw some kind of losing day to the internet, people act like you should do this, you should do that, you should. Everyone is different. Trading is so personal, and even you develop a very profitable algorithm to trade for you, if you give it to someone else, the algorithm is just as good as the person who run it. Because sometimes the algorithm gonna hit a chart out period. The owner he gonna believe in his trading system and keep running and let the statistical edge and the large number to kick in and eventually making the money in the end. But for someone just being greedy and buying the robot, the algorithm, whatever, and then just run and just hoping that every day is gonna make money, and when it hits the drawdown, a lot of doubts and disbelief is gonna kick in, and eventually he gonna blow out. And it's applies the same to any trading strategy. It's never about the strategy. It's what behind and deep below the strategy. Every execution, every execution kind of give you more data, more. I just can say that every execution matter. So I think that is the end of the video. I know that it sometimes is long because I never script anything I say. It's not the first time I make some kind of video where I just feel I want to speak. But trading is hard, and it's get easier over time when we understand ourselves more and more, and we actually know how to develop a trading edge, and we know that the trading edge it is not something that just plug in and run. It is something more like tracking, journaling, and seeing a little advantage after collecting enough of sample size. And we keep updating the sample size because market it keep changing. And there are times we should use this strategy but there are times we should limit our exposure, and it's just a constant practice. I forgot to say one thing, which is more about my recent change in the way I believe. I believe it is a game of skill and not a game of entry. This is a game of skill set, and I'm not meaning in skill set in terms of 1 to 20 or trade, but I mean the skill set in terms of practicing something that you believe you not only you make profit with it, but we practice our edge until it became our second nature. And it really removes so much of the unnecessary emotion, and it also removes a lot of fear of losing as well. And it just makes the consistency is kind of so achievable compared to mechanical and very fixed time trading. Mechanical trading is the best thing about it is that you can diversify with different market because it doesn't require a lot of discretionary. But the big advantage of discretionary trading is that we can building some type of iteration and connection, if you will, with the pair or with the market that we are trading, or with the time that we're trading, or with a very specific time of the day that we're trading. And after enough practice, discretionary trading can be very peaceful. But in terms of diversification and sharp ratio, maybe mechanical and algorithmic trading can be more. So this is my personal finding, and that I'm still growing every day, and that is to my point of view. I know that I talk a lot, but every day is the passion that I have for trading. It's just improving more and more. When you have so much within you, you don't want to talk. You want to share it with passion. And deep down, sometimes I don't want to talk about it. But when I talk about it, I deeply want that it can be helpful for others because every time I speak up, it's healing for myself as well. So you can see right here, my trade is about to heading take profit. I'm going to close the pending order, and I'm done for Asia section. Now, do you think that trading TB is random? It's not. It's based on hourly ATR. At that particular hour, usually price moves average around 46 pip. So from the top of the hour, from the opening of the hour, I target like 40 pips. It can even run. Sometime there will be like after 10 time or so, there will be like one or two exception where price go kind of expansion and bigger, but most of the time it's not. So they one of the statistical act that building within my trading system right now, and it keep changing because market range and market behavior keeps changing every day. But overall, ATR for me is actually very consistent. You don't see gold move like 1,000 pip every day. maybe 1 day or 2 day in a year. So if I just manage to trade within 1 or 2 hours, then I want to out based on the ATR of the hour. I don't want to enter the trade right here and target 1 to 3 because I want the market to do so, or I think or I believe the market is gonna do so. It's more about going to get out because at this time, 5 time, 8 time in a row, market usually moves like 40 to 50 pips. So I'm going to target within that range or less so I can be in and out. And I have a cap for my daily maximum losses, and I managed to make maybe $75 today in the session. So this is a part of how I trade right now. A lot, based on data, statistical edge, and my strategy building. Um, I'm narrow things down to go. I can narrow things even deeper into just one section, but so far I'm feeling pretty good, and I can narrow things even deeper into just 1 hour candle, and I trade based on 3 minute chart. I can do so, but I don't. Currently, I feel like narrow things down to one pair is enough, and I don't think that one pair is the way to go. I think that it depends on how you trade, when you trade, what market you trade, how and what kind of strategy you want to apply, and depend on the condition that your strategy that thrive. You're gonna define a trading range. You're gonna define a trading time where you're gonna outperform, and that outperform is not gonna happen overnight, but it's gonna happen if you collect data and tracking everything. Recently with ChatGPT and stuff, I tried to learn and code some very simple script for my MT5, for my MT4, and for my trading view, for my Google Sheet as well. So there are a lot of things and a lot of improvement that I know and I believe that I'm making to make the trading career at a full-time job right now. It's not easy. Even if you're making a little, but I know that the time for me to scale up will come, and I'm going to take my time and not rush the process. And I hope that you found something useful today because one trading errors, one trading mistake. What people don't realize is that it can create a loop in your mind that really just make you stick to something that's not actually an edge. And you will keep losing money until one day you realize there's something wrong and you you change this. A trading loop can last for years, and it happened to me. For years, I believe in things that I shouldn't, and it really takes time for me to change things. But the very first step is believing in what you see, believing in yourself, in your channel, and just start channel right away. If you look at my trading view, you can see all of the page is like hundreds of video that I record for myself. To do what? To reflect on the weekend and to talk to myself. And sometimes I am the only one that I can trust to share the feeling, to share the losses. Not everyone have a trading buddy or a trading partner. Even you have a trading buddy, not everyone have the same journey, and not everyone have the same years within the market, and not everyone can understand you. So for me personally, I trust myself and I open up with myself a lot to really dive deep in what's wrong. And sometimes it's not helpful at all, but sometimes it is. And I just slowly and slowly learn from myself. And I always believe that with the right mentor, it's gonna be so much faster. But there are too many, and it's not easy to find someone that not only legit, but also understand how to mentor you to find the trader within you. Because there's a certain personality that I believe is not going to follow the mentor 100%. And yeah, so there's so much more I want to talk about, but I think the video is long enough. And maybe I will update about my trading result later. But like I say, my trading loss is my thing. Your trading losses is your thing. And doesn't matter what people say, because at the end of the day, it's our P&L, it's our process, and it doesn't matter what people say until we owe that to ourselves, until we learn the lesson within the P&L, until we know how to utilize the losses or even the wins. It will repeat itself over and over and over. It's not going to be easy, but you will see and you will just know it within yourself once you found a way to break the cycle and break the trading low. It's never about the strategy. It's never about the entry as well. In some case, yes, but most of the time, you can get out of the trade with good management and still be profitable. See you on the next video. I hope that we will all make it. And it doesn't matter where you are in this journey, sometimes it's gonna be very difficult. And the lowest moment of myself was that not only me, I think, we will want to end our life, but don't do so. Just give yourself some time. Time, it heals everything. It makes a lot of things come to perspective. Just don't rush into anything if you are losing big, if you are facing with some really huge losses. Give yourself some time. Things will start to make sense. But again, it takes time and patience. See you on the next video, and thank you so much for listening. It's been a while, and I always good to share things and being exactly who you are.